Hello, let us explore Law on Meadows, one of Canada's National Historic Site in this video. Helgingstad, a Norwegian explorer, came upon the site Lance Meadows in 1960s. He was later joined by his wife, archaeologist Anna Stein Ingstad. Lance Meadows is also UNESCO World Heritage Site with a rich history of human migration. Let us explore Lance Meadows. As we head into the visitor center, we see a lot of artifacts like boats, nails, and wallboards depicting the significance of this site. There is also a small video show that set the stage before going towards the Viking encampment from Visitor Center.
Why are we so fascinated with Vikings? Is it their bad boy image of being Europe's marauders and pillagers? Or is it their distinctive boats whose fierce dragon prows sent chills into their victims' hearts? Or is it the epic tales of their legendary seamanship as they explored the vast regions of the North and became the first known Europeans to set foot on North American soil that makes them so appealing? Whatever the reason, the Vikings have captured our imaginations for centuries, and they continue to do so. Why did the Vikings come? And why here?
Let us go back to Norway. Around 870 AD, Norse settlers reached Iceland from Norway. The interior of this volcanic island was rocky and uninhabitable. Around 985 AD, exiled Eric, probably the head of community, persuaded fellow Icelanders to join him in this new land he named Greenland. It was a difficult country with little soil. Worse, Greenland had no trees. It was expensive to import wood from Europe. As they sailed from Greenland, they saw no grass. Everywhere were large glaciers and slab of rocks. They thought the land was useless and called it Helluland. As they sailed the coast, there were big forests and many animals. They called the land Markland because it was so heavily wooded. Following the shoreline south into Labrador, the Norse found endless forests and long sandy beaches. They would continue to voyage to Markland for lumber and to Helluland for walrus ivory and skins regularly. Lance Meadows marks the northernmost tip of Vinland. As they explored southward, they found rich forests with grapevines, likely current New Brunswick and Nova Scotia. They named the land Vinland for its riches. They also had their first encounter with indigenous people. We are excited to do a guided tour, and the guide has a Norse heritage, and he is a great storyteller.
Well, we're gonna explore the artifacts and piece together the story, and by the end of the tour, you'll understand that, and hopefully a whole bunch more. So I think we should probably get started and keep the blood pumping.
This sculpture depicts end of human migration and completing the circle as Norse people met indigenous people. And of course this is a World Heritage Site.
On this side we have the Norse, and the Norse, it's represented here, a dragon or a monster on its wooden ship. Again, bringing back the theme of wood. And the monster linked to spirituality, because the Norse, they were pagans, right? We all seen Vikings, right?
Yep.
But in actual fact, Iceland, in one of the most famous sagas called the Saga of Njal, who was a famous lawyer, and at the legal assemblies, they converted to Christianity. So how that happened is recounted in the sagas. And it's thought to be about the year 1000, the same time they came here. So we often get the question, did they find any human remains in the archaeology? And the answer is no. So they would have brought their dead back with them to Greenland, where there are still standing stone churches, and they have this excavated skeletons around that church, showing that these were probably a mix of pagan and Christian. But officially, Leif Erikson, the leader of the colony, he was connected with powerful rulers in Europe, and so he wanted to show that Christian face, front facing. The reason why I talk about the spirituality is because the monsters would scare spirits, and they would improve their luck and their fortunes in new lands and in the farms that they were busy working. So the other part of the sculpture is this other symbol. And does anybody want to take a guess at what that is?
Ship.
That's the sail.
Oh, it is.
So that would be their engine.
The Ingstads found that the overgrown bumps and ridges were the lower courses of the walls of 8 Norse buildings from 11th century. The buildings were same kinds as those used in Iceland and Greenland around year 1000. Long, narrow fireplaces in the middle of the floor served for heating, lighting, and cooking. They say the Norse sailors must have used the spot as a base camp or a stop in the winters to rest and repair boats. Interestingly, the site had been in use only for a decade. Let us now head into Viking encampment, where we will be meeting Viking characters and step back 1,000 years to experience life and exploration of Vikings' age.
Oh, the lap of luxury. Come on in, folks, and have a seat if you like. Give you a little introduction.
Thanks for watching.